They built a secret world between the cracks of reality. Tuesday afternoons became sacred. Akihiko would cancel meetings, ignore calls, construct elaborate excuses. His assistant thought he'd taken up meditation. His driver thought he was having a quarter-life crisis. They were both partially right. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., he'd meet Haruto at a different place. They rotated locations like spies in a novel, small coffee shops in Shimikitazawa, quiet corners of art galleries in Roppongi, the observation deck of the Metropolitan Government Building when it was empty. Places where no one from Akihiko's world would ever look. "I feel like we're in a spy movie," Haruto said one afternoon, stirring his coffee. "Secret meetings. Hidden identities." "You know my identity," Akihiko pointed out. "Doi." Haruto looked at him gently. "You've never told me your last name, where exactly you live, what your father's company actually does." Akihiko's stomach clenched with guilt. "I'm sorry. It's just... I'm not asking you to," Haruto interrupted. "I'm just saying I notice, and when you're ready to trust me with the full truth, I'll be here. Until then, I'm happy with the Akihiko who laughs at my terrible jokes and lets me sketch him when he thinks I'm not looking. I know when you're sketching me. Then why don't you stop me? Because I like the way you see me." Haruto's eyes softened. "I see you as you are. That's all." But that was everything. The weeks blurred together like watercolors. Haruto took him to places Akihiko had never been, despite living in Tokyo his whole life. Tiny bookshops that smelled like paper and time. Vintage record stores where they listened to music from decades past. Street food vendors where the best meal cost less than the coffee in Akihiko's office. "This is real life," Haruto said, biting into takoyaki. "Not those fancy restaurants where the portions are tiny and the prices are criminal. Those restaurants have Michelin stars. These takoyaki have my heart. More important." Akihiko laughed. He was laughing a lot lately. His mother had noticed. "You seem different," she'd said at Sunday dinner. "Happier." "I'm the same," he'd lied. But he wasn't. He was becoming someone new. Someone who existed in the spaces between his old life and these stolen moments. Haruto's apartment was everything Akihiko's wasn't. Small, cluttered, alive. Every surface was covered with art supplies, books, half-finished projects. The walls were a gallery of sketches and paintings, some framed, most just tacked up with tape. The kitchen was barely big enough for one person, let alone two, but they made it work. "Sorry about the mess," Haruto said the first time Akihiko visited. "I'm organizationally challenged." "It's perfect," Akihiko said, and meant it. It was perfect because it was real, because it was Haruto. They'd sit on the floor, Haruto didn't own a proper table, and eat takeout and talk about everything and nothing. Haruto would sketch while Akihiko read. Sometimes they wouldn't talk at all, just exist in comfortable silence. Akihiko had never known silence could be comfortable. "Can I paint you?" Haruto asked one evening. "You've drawn me a dozen times. Painting is different, more intimate. I'd need you to sit for hours. Stay still. Let me really see you." The way he said it made Akihiko's breath catch. "Yes," he said. The sessions started the following week. Haruto set up his easel by the window where the light was best, positioned Akihiko on a chair, adjusted his posture with gentle hands that made Akihiko's skin burn. "Relax," Haruto murmured. "Just be yourself. I don't know who that is anymore." "Then let me show you." And he did. Over the course of 3 sessions, Haruto painted him. Not the heir, not the perfect son. Just him. They talked while he worked. Akihiko told him about his childhood, the tutors and etiquette lessons, the birthdays where presents came from assistants, not parents, the crushing weight of expectations. "I was 6 when my father first took me to the office," Akihiko said. "He sat me in the boardroom and said, One day, all of this will be yours. Don't disappoint me. That's a lot of pressure for a 6-year-old. I haven't stopped carrying it since. Haruto's brush paused. You know you can put it down, right? Just because someone hands you a burden doesn't mean you have to carry it forever. It's not that simple, isn't it? Akihiko didn't have an answer. Haruto shared his stories too, about his parents, how his mother used to sing while cooking, how his father would draw portraits of the family every Sunday, how they died on their way to his middle school art exhibition. I blamed myself for years, Haruto admitted. If I hadn't had that exhibition, they wouldn't have been on that road, wouldn't have been hit by that drunk driver. It wasn't your fault. I know. Took me years of therapy to believe it, but I know. He smiled softly. They were coming to support my dream. The least I can do is keep dreaming. They'd be proud of you. I hope so. Haruto looked at him over the easel. I think they'd like you too. Why? Because you make me happy. And they always wanted me to be happy. Akihiko's throat tightened. I want you to be happy too, he whispered. Then stay, Haruto said simply. That's all I need. But staying was getting harder. Akihiko's 21st birthday was approaching. The engagement announcement his father expected. The future being locked into place. He hadn't told Haruto. Couldn't tell Haruto. Every time he tried, the words died in his throat. Instead, he just held on tighter to these moments, memorized every detail. The way Haruto's tongue stuck out slightly when he concentrated. The paint stains on his fingers. The way he hummed while he worked. Done, Haruto announced one evening. He turned the canvas around. Akihiko stared. The painting showed him by the window, evening light painting gold across his features. But it wasn't the technical skill that made his breath catch. It was the love. Every brushstroke was infused with it. The careful attention to detail. The soft way he'd been rendered. The expression on his painted face. Peaceful, almost free. This was how Haruto saw him. This was how Haruto loved him. It's beautiful, Akihiko managed. You're beautiful, Haruto replied. No embarrassment, just truth. They stood there, the painting between them, everything unsaid heavy in the air. Haruto, His phone rang. His father. Reality crashing back in. I have to take this, Akihiko said, hating himself. He stepped into the hallway. Answered. The engagement party is set for your birthday, his father said without preamble. The Tanakas expect you to propose that night. I trust you've purchased a suitable ring. Akihiko closed his eyes. Yes, father. Another lie in a life built on them. Good. Don't embarrass the family. The line went dead. Akihiko stood in the dingy hallway of Haruto's apartment building. His tailored suit worth more than 3 months' rent here, and felt like he was being torn in half. When he went back inside, Haruto was cleaning brushes, humming softly. Everything okay? He asked. Fine Akihiko lid. But Haruto's eyes said he knew it wasn't. Akihiko, he said gently. Whatever it is you're not telling me, it's eating you alive. I can see it. I can't. You can. You can tell me anything. And Akihiko almost did. Almost confessed everything. The arranged marriage. His real identity. The impossibility of their situation. But fear won. It's just work stress, he said. Nothing important. Haruto's face fell, just for a moment before he smiled. Okay, when you're ready. The trust in his voice made Akihiko feel like the worst person alive. They had 3 more weeks. 3 more weeks before Akihiko's birthday. 3 more weeks before everything would end. He didn't tell Haruto. Instead, he loved him harder. Memorized everything. Took mental photographs of every smile, every laugh, every touch. Built a museum of moments in his mind for when this was over. Because it would be over. It had to be. People like him didn't get happy endings. They got duty, obligation, legacy. But for 3 more weeks, he could pretend. On what would be their last Tuesday together, though Haruto didn't know it yet, they went to a small art gallery in Kagurazaka, a student exhibition that Haruto's friend was in. Akihiko watched Haruto move through the space, commenting on technique, encouraging young artists, glowing with genuine passion. This was his world. Light and color and creation. Akihiko's world was contracts and boardrooms and strategic marriages. They didn't fit. They were never going to fit. "What are you thinking?" Haruto asked, catching him staring. "That you're remarkable," Akihiko said honestly. Haruto blushed. "Stop. I mean it. You see beauty everywhere. You create it. You are it." "Akihiko. I love you," Akihiko said, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "I love you, and I needed you to know that." Haruto's eyes widened, then filled with tears. Happy ones. "I love you too," he whispered. "God, I love you too." They kissed there in the gallery, surrounded by art, creating their own masterpiece. Akihiko poured everything into it. All his love, all his regret, all his goodbye. Because in 6 days he'd be engaged to someone else. In 6 days this would be over. But Haruto didn't know that. And Akihiko was too much of a coward to tell him.
Thanks for watching. What do you think happened in the next episode? Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more episodes and more enchanted stories.